Hi, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge Corona Pendant. This is going to be the smallest of the series of the multi ones. This one is the 19.5 inch diameter. Let's get into details on it. It's a 136500. The height of the fixture body itself, and that's going to be independent of what it's hanging from, is coming in at 5.9 inches high. Diameter, like I said, is coming in at 19.5. There's going to be a range for your overall height. And when we talk about overall height, we're talking about the distance from the bottom of the fixture itself to the actual ceiling. We're not talking about parts, so it's a whole thing. Hubbardton Forge has a whole system of these interconnected rods, and we'll go over that in a second. But we'll talk about the range that's available, and that's going to be pretty short to begin with, so you can use this as a semi-flush if you want to. It starts off at 11.5 inches, goes all the way to 53.5, which is pretty cool. It's going to be shipping with 65 inches of wire, so if you need another set of a kit of these pipes, you can get that, and you can make this even longer than the 53.5 if need be. Okay, so let's get into how these work. So you have these threaded pipes. There's threading on each end, and then in between are what are called connectors, and you can just see the threading on the ends of both of those and how you're going to be building this. And I want to kind of show you. I'll talk about it, and then we'll talk about the installation sheet too. So if you're on the page for this on Handmade in Vermont, look over on that side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations instructions PDF. So open that up for me. It's going to talk about all the things we're talking about now. It's going to have schematic drawings too, which are always nice to see, as well as drawings and details of the canopy. And a lot of times you guys want to know about this, okay? So how I would put this together, I would put on a table, I would put down a towel, I would put the fixture body itself, I would have the wires ready to go, and I would feed them through the pipes as need be. So you're going to be getting, as a kit, you're going to be getting 3 pieces of the 12, 1 piece of the 6, and 1 piece of the 3. And when you're on the page for this, either on the install sheet or on our page on Handmade in Vermont, way down there in the corner, you're going to see a little chart. And the chart's going to have what combinations of pipes are going to be needed to get you to your target overall height. So just check that out, and then you use what you need. You feed the wires through the pieces piece by piece. You don't put it all together and try to jam it through. So you're going to be so much easier just to put it through like a connector, and then a pipe, and then a connector, and a pipe. Eventually you're going to be exiting this canopy up on the top. And this canopy up at the top is a 5-inch round canopy. It's going to go over your 4-inch junction box. This is what you guys have in your ceiling, okay? It's 45 degrees slope ceiling adaptable already. There's going to be a knuckle built at the top of this that lets it bend just like that. So you're going to be all set as far as the slope ceiling stuff goes. Very, very easy. And like I said, this is a 5-inch round canopy. So moving on from there, I want to talk about some other little details. So let's talk about the glass on this. It's a beautiful handmade, let's find a place for this to go. It's a beautiful handmade piece of glass, and it's a 2-part. So you've got basically clear glass is the outer part of this, and then there's a frosted glass tube that's actually all part of the same thing. There's threading on the top of this, and this is going to be going and threading onto your socket, much like that. This is the G9 socket. This is going to be using, we'll talk about this in just a second. But the glass is really cool. I've always loved this piece of glass because you actually have this frosted diffuser, which is going to hide the bulb. You're not going to have to be able to see whichever bulb you guys have, and it cuts the glare. And then this beautiful piece of clear glass on the outside. So that's your glass. This is 2.9 inches in diameter, 3.62 inches tall. Now, let's get into the socket. That's going to be a big deal for you guys. It's going to be using a G9 halogen to begin with, and as far as the halogen goes, you're going to be able to use a 40 watts in each of these sockets. And I think I should have, yep, there's one right there. Okay, so this is a halogen bulb. They come frosted, they come clear, 40 watt max per socket. They have little pins on the bottom like you see in the picture there, but you can use LEDs as well. So I use LEDs in the ones in our showroom. They come in all kinds of flavors. So we get them on Amazon just because it's the easiest place to get them. And these come in all kinds of different types. So you're going to have phosphorus ones that have the yellow lines or the yellow pads. You're going to have these types here that are going to be called corn cob. They actually look like corn cobs. They have little yellow pads inside and on the ends. These are going to have little tabs on the bottom too. They're not going to necessarily have wires, but they may have just metal tabs on there. So like I said, I got these on Amazon. This one is a 75 watt equivalent. So even though your wattage for your 40 watt Halogen is going to max out at 40 because of the heat generated by that bulb. These don't generate much heat, so you can really go to town on what you guys do with these. I would probably go for a 40 or 60 or a 75 watt equivalent LED, and you should be fine. It's a dimmable fixture. You get to choose as far as the color temperatures on your light. Going back to the dimmable thing, just make sure that when you're looking online, it says dimmable. It's very important because these are often available non-dimmable as well. I talk about the color of light all the time with LEDs. 2700 Kelvin is super, super yellow. The other one's called daylight. That's way on the other side of the spectrum. That's going to be 4000, 5000 Kelvin. That's that bluish white light you kind of see outside on a cloudy day. That's called daylight for obvious reasons. Right in the middle of that is what we use in our showroom, and that's going to be called warm white. And warm white is 3000 Kelvin. It's what we like to use here. Matter of fact, it's the light that's coming down on me right now, so you can't even tell that this is not incandescent light. It's a nice warm glow. So my choice on this would probably be 3000 Kelvin, dimmable, maybe 60 watt equivalent LEDs, and you're good to go. Let's get into finishes now. If you're on the HandmadeInVermont.com website, look over on this side of the screen. Midway down, you're going to see a tab. It's going to say Finishes Help Guide. Click on that for me. There's going to be a video on there of me talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes and how they can look on different types of forging. I'm going to be talking about a chart a little farther down on the page. You'll see it next to me here. It's going to kind of go over the differences between heavy forging and non-heavy forging, and it'll be talked about in that video. So it's really important that you kind of watch the video, use the chart. You can click on that chart on different things. So you can click on dark smoke and a big page will pop up and show you lots of different things in dark smoke. Click on burnished steel or natural iron, it'll do the same thing. But it's really important that you understand how Hubbardton Forge's finishes are kind of divided into translucent and opaque and how they can look on different fixtures. Our showroom in Vermont has we're up to 400 Hubbardton Forge fixtures spread across 2 floors. We have a What's on Display page. It's way up there in those red tabs again, so click on that and you can see what we have to show you. That changes all the time because we're always adding things as they come out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. We have an amazing clearance center here too. Clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. If you were coming to visit us, bring a good-sized vehicle, something like a big SUV or maybe a small truck or something like that, because you might find something in the clearance center that you want to take home, and it's a lot of fun to go through. 75% off MSRP is an amazing bargain, so you should really take advantage of it if you can. Like I said, we're open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can call us at 802-446-2400 during business hours. You can email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all the time. We love to answer emails. When you buy your Hubbardton Forge fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There's no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont, and we're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. No one else even comes close to that. Some larger items are non-returnable. We'll always tell you about that. It'll be in the description thing, that part of the description underneath on the very bottom. So keep an eye out for that. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge generally takes about 3 to 4 weeks to get product out. They don't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes, your adjustable ranges to play with, all those things. We can cut that time in half, and it's super inexpensive. If you want to know more, drop a quick email, and I can walk you through the whole thing, okay? So, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Love to see you in our showroom sometime, and have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.